everybody, welcome to Passeport pour l'emploi, the job passport. And voila, my name is Myriam, Linda, and ENDUNDO, so you can get in touch with me through the description. Today we are going to speak about the resume. The fact that if you do a good resume, it's going to help you with any training. Why is it important to do a resume or to be a trainer that firstly leads people that need to be trained to do a resume? Why is it important for a financial provider to think about giving a training on how to do a resume before giving a training on learning a job, before doing a training on increasing one's capacity in a company, or before giving a training to someone that is jobless, to whom you would like to give the chance to learn something, to learn a profession, or to learn to be more effective so that you can hire them. I'm speaking about that because for example, in Congo, I participated to forum de la formation professionnelle, so an event that was about the professional training and employment, and most of the people in that event were like saying, okay, we get financial providers that train people, but we are still in the situation where sometimes in Congo, recruiter rather not hire someone and be in lack of effective, there is not enough staff, than recruiting one person more that is not effective, because they don't find who they want in the market. And I was saying that the first thing is that you think you don't find the people that you need in the market because those people don't know how to do a resume so that you can see that they are able to do. So the problem is not that people are not qualified. The problem is not that people are not effective. The problem is that people don't know how to sell themselves in order for you to find on a paper that they are effective. That's the first situation. So certain companies, certain international organizations go through the fact that, okay, we have a resume and it seems like the people are not qualified, and so we are going to put money on the table so that we train professionally people, and then afterwards you can hire them, or then afterward I am going to hire the best of them. And what happened is that a lot of money is poured on training people, but finally after the training it's only a very small percent that is effective to work and can be recruited. And when you see the impact study of the others that were not recruited there, you can find, and I see that when I train people, that in the resume there is training and training and training, but those people are always trained, get always access to trainings. And finally, it doesn't help them find a job. So you see that those trainings are not effective. And one of the reasons why those trainings that are financed by, I don't know, European Union, by international banks, by organizations, by diplomatic institutes, those trainings don't do that. They don't help people first to know how to do the resume, and then choose those people according to a correct resume to give a training. So I'm going to tell you why it is really important to do that, and to have a job facilitator that can correctly lead people to do a resume that speaks for itself. Because you have certain job facilitators that just say, okay, a resume, you do like this, this, blah, blah. This is the model, and okay, it's hours, but it's not effective, okay? So you need effectiveness on screening who is able to have that training and to give effectiveness after the training, so that the training is made to improve the capacity of the person, and you can see that the capacity is improved. The first thing, excuse me, I'm going to read. The first thing is that the resume is really important before a training, because it helps you make a right presentation of your qualification, of your competencies, of your skills, of of everything that you can do professionally. Okay, so you are like the resume is your ID card. The resume is your tabloid, it's your advert panel, you know? So the resume is what you use to sell yourself, and it's what people should use to sell themselves to you before training, before you recruit them, before you make a business connection with that person. And the resume can be well presented on paper, but the resume can also, like, there are certain professional fields where you don't need a resume. You are the resume. For example, if you want to work in a restaurant, you want to work in a shop, you want to work in a braiding shop, you want to work in a, I don't know, so many other like profession where you can come with a resume. The owner of the business, the administrative, the HR is going to look at your resume, but the first thing they are going to do is tell you, okay, are you ready now to work, so I can see how effective you are. So you have profession where a paper resume is not always requested, and is not always the one that is going to be looked at. It's going to be you. You are going to be the resume. But making a resume on paper is helping you to realize who you are as a resume, as a person. So that's the first thing. For the business also, like for art, you have special types of resume. Your resume is not on paper like this. It's a book. If you are a model, if you are an artist, if you're a web designer, your book, your numeric book, or your book on paper, your big folder like this, and is your resume. It's a book, you know, so artistic book or something like that. So according to the profession, the resume might change the profession, the presentation. So a good job facilitator is going to be able to lead the person, to guide the person to a right resume, to show what that person can do. And it is all about what you can do. A business person also should have a resume as a business person, but the resume is really how that business person react, how that business person think, how that business person do, and what is the brand reputation of that business person. For example, yesterday I listened to a tutorial, and I don't remember the person that was making the tutorial, because it's the first time I found him, and he was speaking about Airbnb, and it was explaining how Airbnb was really starting with difficulties. They couldn't find investors, and at one moment they were in lack of money, so they had to find a creative idea to have some money, because they were at the end of the company, well, the project of Airbnb, you know. And so they decided to do cornflakes, like boxes of cornflakes, 2 boxes of cornflakes, and they printed a special thing, and it was like, I think 800 of them or 8,000 of them, so a limited issue of these cornflakes. And they sold those cornflakes at 40 euros, $40, and I think they got $35,000, if I remember well. So when they went to see an investor, and the investor was like looking the plan, listening to them, and seeing that, oh, okay, so I don't know if they read it or if they spoke about it, the fact that they said they sold those cornflakes, and they say, the investor said, you know what? You are the people that sold those cornflakes. Okay, Yes, I heard about it. So this is the brand reputation. This is your resume, your oral resume. Someone that doesn't know you, someone that read about you. Your resume was on newspaper. Your resume was on TV channel. And so finally that person asked, that investor asked, okay, so you did, how much did you earn? 35,000. How many did you sell? And so they said how many they sold. And so he's a financial. He counts and he said, you sold those boxes at 40 euros, $40. Sorry, I'm in Belgium, so it's euros. $40. And they said, yes. You sold boxes that are sold in shops at $250, $2.50. You sold them at 50 euro, $50? Yes. So he said, okay, I don't believe in your project Airbnb, but I do believe in people that are able to sell something of $250 at 40. I know if I give you the money, you're going to be able to do something with that because you did it with this. So I trust you. I don't trust your project, but I trust your ability to create money with an ID. And I'm going to give you money to create a to create a project that is going to put interest on my money, capitalize my money. So this is how they got investment to do Airbnb. And you know that internationally now Airbnb is well known. So you see that you can be a resume because you did something and you have a brand reputation and people hear about it and they want to invest in you. So it's important to have a good resume. So it's a presentation of what you can do. And the way you act, the way you think, the way you know, is a presentation. Second point is the evaluation. Third point is the discovery. Fourth point is the planification. Fifth point is the application, and the sixth point is motivation. Sorry, I didn't do that before, but voila. So the evaluation, when you present what you can do, then you are able to be evaluated. So the role of the resume is to present what you can do, and the person that wants to hire another person is going to see in your resume, evaluate what you present and see if you are able to do what he's searching for. If you are able to do the things for which he's searching for someone to work in his company, okay? But also as a businessman, you will be able to hire people. You have to be able to hire people. So to evaluate, okay, what is needed for your business to work. If you don't know how to do well a resume, it's going to be difficult to evaluate the resume of other people, how it should be presented. So the evaluation is going to help you when you do a resume. So if you provide for a training for someone, professional training, if you pay for a professional training, and before that you decide to give a training on the resume, and it's a good training, you know, a professional training on the resume, that person is going to learn how to present what he can do and to evaluate if what he can do is really what he should be doing. For example, you have a lot of Congolese people that put in their resume that they know how to speak English, and then they put excellent or very good, or and they put I certified with honor on this date that I didn't lie. So you receive them on a job interview and they put good English, and then what you do is that you put the resume here and you start speaking with this person, or a person that say, for example, in America, in Canada, in UK, in Ireland, hello, and say, hello, Dublin. And they say, I speak very well French. So you gotta start speaking French with that person. Ah, tu parles bien français. Ah, c'est très bien. That person start, you know, and then you say, okay, so you don't speak as well French because you said very good, but you don't really good, you don't speak very good French. So the resume is a way to evaluate, because you present it, and then the job facilitator, while he's helping you to do the resume, is going to give you the tools in order to evaluate, auto-evaluate, if really you know what you say you know in your resume. And it is very important for someone that give a professional training to know if that person is really on the level that is requested for this training. And it's important for the one who is providing the financial needs for this training to know that they are investing in people that are really able to get that training, or are really evaluated, so that the training is going to provide to this person the things where they are weak, and that person has to be motivated. And in order for that person to be motivated to learn more about the weak points that he has to know that that those weak points are weak. You know, and most of the time in Congo, young people around the world, but in Congo, I see that people are going to say that I know this. With which level of effectiveness you know that? You know, so as a trainer, you cannot come and think that this person realized that what he presents or doesn't present, okay, is able to provide. And you need to have the motivation also, because a person that realizes is weak on a point and knows that if I'm not stronger on this point, after the training I might not be recruited, after the training I might not have this person, knowing that the other person knows that it's a weak point, is going to work, is going to be motivated to have a better effectiveness on the points he was weak before the training. So it has a motivational effect that comes on every step of the resume. The third point is the discovery. That person is going to discover into a facilitation session, job facilitation session on how to do a resume. That person is going to discover which are the tools for this person to auto-evaluate, which are the tools to evaluate, and which are the tools to learn more, get more effective. So for example, when I train people on the resume and they do their resume, and I make that test, oh, you say you speak English properly, and I start speaking English with the person, and I say, you see, you have a problem with the English. So go. There are free tests of English level in internet. You go and you type free test English, free test French, free test and you make the test, and you're going to know your level, because it's in universal test. It's not you think you know English because you speak with people that don't know English, and when they hear you speak English they say, oh, wow. But in fact, someone that speaks English is going to say, what is it that this person is saying, you know? So there are certain tools that are going to make you able to auto-evaluate yourself, and is going to make you able to lead people to realize that they are weak, they don't know. It has nothing to do with you being mean with them, saying that you don't know so you don't get the training, you don't know so you don't get the opportunity to have the job. Because most of the people are going to say, I don't get the job because of the other. They don't realize that the profession says that you should know this at this level, on this way, on this timing, on this deadline, and they don't have a way to auto-evaluate that they don't meet the standards for the profession. They think that, okay, I have my degree, so it's okay. Yes, but even universities don't have all the same level and don't have all the same access to the same kind of effectiveness. So, and sometimes also there are tools that are going to show that this person is test psychotechnical test, that this person is not able to do this kind of job. Okay. So the third point is the discovery. Okay, I just spoke about the discovery. And then you can planify. Then this person can planify. Let's say that before a recruitment, before you meet someone, like now, I have a WhatsApp, I have a business, I have like employment WhatsApp groups. And I have one, for example, one in Benin and some in Congo. Pardon. So one person in the group of Benin is searching for someone that has an expertise. And I say, I don't think in that group there is someone that has the expertise, but I know someone in one of my Congo group that has that expertise. So he said, oh no, but I'm in Benin and blah, blah, blah. And it takes 2 days. And then he says, it's really emergency. Can you get me in touch with the other person? I already got in touch with that young person from Congo saying, look, someone is searching for an expertise that you might have. Can you prepare yourself? Because at one moment I'm going to connect you. And what happened, I thought it would be boof. And this morning I had the person and said, it's really important because tomorrow I'm going to speak with another guy from Gabon. And I need to speak with someone that has the expertise so I can present the thing in the people of Gabon. So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So I put them in contact and I say, look, it's a young person. He's searching for opportunity to make business with his expertise or to have a job with his expertise. Is on agricultural field, but do know that if he has to travel, I need to have a warranty because it's the child of someone. So I don't want that person, even if he's already an adult, you know, there are traffic slavery and stuff like that. So you have to be careful when people travel from one place to another, because you put them in connection, especially my young people in the WhatsApp group. But so this is to explain to you that voila, this person wanted to have someone to bring him the expertise, to planify a way that when he has the encounter with the other person, he can speak agricultural thing. He can really negotiate the contract. So you can planify as a businessman, you can planify as a person that wants to have a job, you can planify as someone that wants to train someone, you can planify as someone that wants to pay a training for someone, you can planify the little training that is going to put that person in effectiveness. So that means that if you see, for example, that a person that you want to train doesn't have the level, you can planify in your professional training that you take him certainly with that for that training, but his weak point is on this and that and that. While you are training, you know that for this and this person, the weak points were that. So you give effectiveness inner training in the training, more homeworks, more links for that person to be effective. Okay, so the next point is application. Yes, when you do a training, you want people to be effective. So there is a way, how can you say that they became effective because of the training if you don't make a test before the training, if you don't evaluate before the training what they are really able to do and what is really their weakness. So at the end of the training, when there is the application of what was learned in the training, you can see if that person really, yes, you have the part of learning and you have the part of practicing. So you can see, evaluate the effectiveness, evaluate the evolvement, evaluate the evolution, you know. And so you can evaluate also the training for which you are paying to see if that training, if that person is really effective in training people. Okay, is it the problem of people? Is it all the people that missed the exam cannot do? Then perhaps the trainer is a problem. If you respect those so voila, you are going to be much more motivated to pay for training for people if it's well done. The trainer is going to be much more motivated to give an effective training so that the result they give is given. But also the person is going to be much more motivated because he knows that he has to learn and he has to practice. So you don't have this case where people are trained and then after you can only take 2% or 3% of the people and then afterwards it's just lost, you know, and that person is just motivated to be trained and receive money while he's trained and perhaps have a job, and then after they only do the job as the former civil servant instead of doing the job with the effectiveness that is weighted after training. So thank you very much for the time, for listening. Subscribe, like if you want, and I hope to see you next time. Be blessed.